I was hoping it wasn't going to be necessary to remove the auxiliary air valve, but the new pipe, it's quite stiff. The old one was so squashy and it just bent and came out, but the new pipe won't go in without removing the auxiliary air valve. Not a particularly big deal. It's only been 3 bolts, and then I'm just going to get these Jubilee clamps on and push this right over here. Go on. Let's have a look. Is it going to go on? Bloody nuisance, really. Let's have a look. Does that come out? Not really sure. Fucking hell. Let's have a look. God almighty, what a bloody nuisance. That's not really sure. I tell you what, let me just pause this. I've ended up taking the whole thing out. I don't have a gasket. I think you're supposed to replace the gasket, and I don't have one. I was hoping not to have to take this out. So let's just clean off any. There's quite a bit of dirt there, and we'll see. I do have some blue gasket seal, but I don't really want to be using it. It might not leak. We'll see. It's only air, there's no water, and there is a gasket on the inside there. So, right, I've managed to get, just try and zoom this camera out. There we go. That makes it easier. I really did hope to not have to take this out, but there was just no way of getting that new pipe in this tiny area without. So let's just try and, there is another hose under here which I'll have to manhandle on somehow. Just have to excuse the neighbours, they're shouting dogs, and they're harmless, but the dogs are running wild around here. Okay, I'll just have to ignore that. Just clean this up the best I can. I'm probably going to have to come back to this with a new gasket, I'd imagine. Alright, let's try and get that on there. Go on, is it on? Come on. Yes, I've got it on. Now then, I've got to manhandle this thing in place. Oh dear, it's so tight and cramped. What's going? Oh, gosh, it's a fiddle. Come on. Okay, are we in? Are we? I don't know. Not quite. Such a fiddle. Come on. Go on. This is a real carry-on. That's it. I've heard it click. There we go. It's in. Right. Yep, that's in. I've got the 3 bolts. There's 1. Gosh, this is a real nuisance. Let's see if I can just get this other hose back on here. Yeah, I should be able to manhandle that back on there. But too much trouble. Come on. There we go. Yes, that's on. We're in. It's on. So this was the hose I was very concerned about earlier. It was totally rotten. That's a complete replacement, but there was no way of getting that back in there without removing this auxiliary air valve, and I didn't have a new gasket. So I suspect that might leak, but I'll order a new gasket and fit that at a later stage. But that's in. I've just got the 3 bolts to get back in here and do up these Jubilee clamps, but that's a job I was very worried about, a hose I was particularly worried about, and it's done and it's safe. I'm very happy.